Hello, my friends. Jacob is here once again, and I thank you and all of you for spending some very important time with me. Every moment that we spend with each other, every moment that I spend coming to you is a moment that is worthwhile to me, because I truly enjoy being a part of this, especially the time that we're in, because it feels like such an important time. And I know I'm not alone in saying that I'm excited. There are going to be a lot of you out there that are listening right now that are going to be very important, I would say pivotal, in what is going to happen in the future. We play a very important role in the role of things, you know? So each of us has a purpose and a point, an area of influence, if you will. And we're going to shine in those areas of influence, and we're going to remember that our life is more than what they have told us. We've been lied to for a long time. And I know right now that if you're watching TV, that you're getting just nothing but non-stop murder, bloodlust, chaos, and fear. Nonsense. It's all manipulation. Just now in my hometown, literally down the street from where I work, I mean, I could walk there. On a night when I was actually in the studio, somebody came up in a black Jeep and just stabbed a couple of kids. My wife tells me this today. I said, well, it figures, because the day that we're in right now, it seems like things are going to get a lot more. I hate to say the word evil, especially like today. I went to go see a movie. I wanted to go see a movie. And I walk in, and what do I see? I see this right up on the billboard. Evil is trending. That the poster for that Friend Request horror movie. Evil is trending, right? Whoa! You're going to find out why that is on today's show. The things that I'm going to say to you, they're going to sound a little kooky, okay? But I've noticed that things that I was writing about 2 years or so ago, things that I write, like almost to the date, I'm starting to see correlations. So much so that I've like hinted about it on my friend Taryn's show a week or so before this terrible attack.
And a lot of people knew for a fact that this was going to happen, this was going to happen, this was going to happen. You know what I knew was going to happen? Right. I knew that it was a sign, and I knew that people were going to question. People were going to wonder. And guess what? When things happen, say in a couple of weeks, there's some big event, right? Say something happens, God forbid, you know, people are going to question. They're going to wonder.
A lot of people ask me about that sign. You know, what does it all mean? Well, I said that something was about to be birthed. I'm going to get into all of that stuff in Revelation next Tuesday's show coming up, so make sure you check it out. But this is an important one too, because Sukkot, which is the Feast of Tabernacles, which I've been talking about, is about to happen. And it's going to happen in Israel. And there's things that are happening right now in Israel, like, remember those crazy clown attacks that we heard about in the United States? Well, guess what? They're being terrorized by these evil clowns right now. Even just last week, a couple of teenagers dressed as these clowns just went to a random, I guess, girl and sprayed them with mace. Just attacks. They think it's funny. That's what they were saying, that they're not in any kind of a cult, even though we see the clown story being told again and again and again. Remember the clowns last year? Well, now it's happening in Israel too. And we're also going to talk about why Israel is shutting down the West Bank for 11 days. So let's first talk about what happened in Las Vegas. After my morning of this event, I took action and I started looking at it and I started praying about it. And what I couldn't get away from was that word harvest. You know, I just kept seeing it because I kept thinking of the end time harvest. was looking at the footage of the area where all of these people were killed. I mean, it was really spooky. You know, it almost looked like it was a ritualistic killing. And I'm not saying that's what happened, but on a spiritual level, it was. Evil was ruling this man's heart, and evil was telling him to do this thing at this event, which was called the harvest, which just so happened to be positioned at the feet of the Sphinx with the all-seeing eye of Providence, Horus's eye, you know, looking down over the whole thing. New World Order. I mean, you couldn't get a bigger picture of that. Almost like they were invited into the harvest and it became a slaughter. The symbolism of that is just heartbreaking to me. And until we realize that we can live for more and be for more, no, we're just going to continue on in this place called death. That's why I've been saying for a while that things need to get shook up. I wanted to come on here and I wanted to say things like, everything's going to be awesome. You know, 2 years ago, when I wrote this essay called No Peace for the Wicked. When I wrote this essay 2 years ago about what was going to come, I had said the days of idolatry and hate are coming to an end. This is why I now see terrors coming to the States as well as other unwalled nations like ours, like Europe and Britain and France. However, before this day, terror was only experienced outside of our door. On a daily basis, I mean. This is why I now see terror coming to the United States and other unwalled nations. We'll see this happening at universities, which is man's education. We put our faith in how smart we are. We'll see it in churches, man's so-called spirituality. Everybody thinks you're going to find salvation in a church. And of course, the attacks on the things that we put our faith in, money, the economy, man's greed. And then I wrote everything that goes along with it, and I made a special note to say, and an attack, more importantly, on everything keeping us entertained and ignorant, from movie theaters to even concerts. Now, I wrote that a couple of years ago, and back in September, I had this bad feeling that like around, you know, because I wrote this in October, I think it was like October 12th. And I thought, seems like everything that I wrote is happening every 2 years. So I put a post on Facebook, like innocuously. I don't want to come on here and say, oh, I think there's going to be a big terrorist attack. I don't want to say that because I didn't know that. But I had a feeling, you know, so I kept throwing it out there. I was even on my friend Taryn Lupo's show, and I was being questioned about the September 23rd thing. And, you know, this guy was saying to me, he was saying, you know, why do people give all these prophecies and then, like, nothing happens? You know, what's the point, right? What's the point? Like, what did you expect? Now, he said he didn't even see my video on the 23rd. Now, you all know that my video on the 23rd was not about the world coming to an end. It was about us waking up out of a world system, that the world system that we put our faith into was coming to an end, and that we were going to be birthing something because it was a child that was about to be born. Now, the people, that was all, I think that's all like distraction, and I think that all that stuff that they put out there is almost like red herrings. You know, they're trying to get you to think that nothing special is going on right now. You know, because so many people said, you know, oh, the world's coming to an end. I got a lot of comments, people saying, oh, it's the 24th. What are you still doing there? Meanwhile, they didn't even watch the video. They just saw the title. But all of you watching, you know something went down. You know something's going down with each of us because we're hungry. We're like, I want to know more. And we're seeking more. And then we see how messed up this world is getting. And it's getting even worse. This attack. So on September 8th, I put on Facebook, I put a post. I posted this article called No Peace for the Wicked on October 2015 about what I believe was very soon to come to snap everyone out of their ignorant, brainwashed sleep. I'm posting this now, today, to mark the date 2 years ago as where we were then and where I said we'll most likely be if we don't wake up. Read the poem first and then visit my essays if you wish, but the poem alone, which I was criticized for, mind you, 2 years ago, is sadly the day we're in. So So I had said to my friend Magi, I had said to a couple of others that I felt like first 2 weeks of October, something, bad was going to happen.
I knew that it was a sign, and I knew that people were going to question. People were going to wonder. And guess what? When things happen, say in a couple of weeks, there's some big event, right? Say something happens.
But I don't tell you this because I can't read the future, right? And then it happens, and it struck me, and that's really why I got so emotional, because I thought to myself, I didn't want to see something like that happen. Which brings me to today, Israel. Okay, so, because I didn't do this last time, and I should just do it, I should just tell you, right? Okay, a couple of years ago, I wrote an article where I had a dream. In the dream, I was standing on a holy site. I can just read it to you. I found myself standing in Israel in what I believe was the Western Wall Plaza, but it could have been the Temple Mount. I just knew it was an important holy site. It was daytime. Thousands of people were behind all of these gates. So basically, I was like alone, and there were gates. It was like kind of like this very holy site. It was all walled off, and everybody, like thousands of people, were outside the gates, and they wanted to get in, and they couldn't get in. And out of the blue, I stumble upon what's going on in Sukkot, which is the Feast of Tabernacles, which I've talked about. Right now, what's been going on since Yom Kippur, which is New Year's, the Days of Atonement. Remember, I've talked about this in our videos. Like, we were supposed to be getting ourselves ready for Tabernacles, which is coming up, Sukkot, which Israel has decided that they thought that it would be in the best interest of everyone if they basically shut everything down, shut off the Western Bank, just shut it down. Who cares about millions of people in Palestine? Who cares about their needs or their rights? We don't want to be bothered, while we celebrate being free from the tyrannical oppression of Egypt when they were delivered. The irony, right? So here they're celebrating. They're building their little forts, okay? These little tabernacles, which are supposed to be built so you keep a little bit of the sky open so that God can come in and indwell in you if you're ready. So here they're partying and they're getting ready for, this great holy day, which celebrates their liberty by, occupying and being tyrannical to the Palestinians. I know religion in this country has convinced everybody that the land of Israel is the Israel of the Bible. I know that is what religion has taught you, but if you've read the scriptures, you understand that Israel is God's child. Behold my son Israel. Okay? It's not a literal place. And Jesus talked about that too. He says, not all that are Jews, some are the synagogue of Satan. In other words, a lot of people that you think that are religious and so holy are actually really, they're all just members of the Satan cult, which is all over the world anyway. We all follow after all of these terrible lies. Now, what's weird about all this is that this is about the harvest once again. That's what's going on. And what really kind of wigged me out was that I wrote about my dream where I was standing in this holy place and everything was barricaded, like right now it's barricaded. I wrote this on September 28th and 29th. It was posted on, I think it was I posted it on September 28th. Well, in 2015, September 28th was Sukkot. That was what was going down there. So I was posting it on that holy day. But in the dream, which was weird, was as I was standing there, it was blocked off. And the symbolism is crazy. There was a big sign for Harry Potter, which I understood that meant witchcraft. So I was standing here and it was kind of like symbolic of how, the people in this area have given themselves to witchcraft, lies, not the truth. And Then at one point, like, all the gates went smashing down and just thousands of people rushed into me. But before that happened, somebody came in with a bomb in the dream. And they said that it was the new Sussman. I'll never forget that. It was very weird because I looked the word Sussman up. And what was weird about this was 2 years prior to me writing this, there was a lady named, I believe her name was Lily Sussman, who, you can see that, her laptop was shot up because they thought it was a bomb. There was this idol that was standing, it was like Nebuchadnezzar's idol, and it was overlooking all of Israel. I stood in the center of an open-air plaza, noticed thousands behind me. They were anxious for the presentation. So I'm standing there and I see this statue, right? And then I was told by somebody, you see, what did I say? That was called Laish, right? Yeah, I was told by someone I did not see that the statue was called Laish and the name meant lion. That word Laish, I looked up, by the way, and it meant judge, Dan. Judge. God is my judge. Judgment. Next, I realized that I had left my wallet, so I ended up leaving. At that point, I left the gates and all that jazz. I got out of there. And that's when I saw the guy coming in with the new Sussman, which was, it was like a briefcase bomb or something. I don't know. Now, I'm not saying that there's going to be a terrible terrorist attack in Israel on Sukkot, on the Tabernacles, which is coming up. I don't know if it's tomorrow or the next day, whatever. It actually lasts for these 11 days. I mean, it's going to be, the area is going to be shut down for a while. I'm not saying that the Palestinians are going to storm the area because they've been kicked out, but it is strange, and it is something that I thought, okay, you know, maybe none of that's going to happen. Maybe I'm just meant to draw everybody's attention to the fact that, look at the irony. You know, look at the horrible, horrible irony here, that an entire country that has occupied others' countries and slowly but surely has just taken all of their stuff, and these people are living in just terrible conditions. How ironic that they're celebrating their freedom from oppression and tyranny while oppressing, you know, these people. I don't know. But once again, it's all about the harvest, and I keep coming back to that. Keep coming back to that. So I don't know what's going to happen. But I do think that we're going to see something else going down. And I don't think that that should scare any of you. So I don't know. I don't even know why you know, to open myself up to all you like this and to share things like this and to risk sounding a little kooky. Do I believe something terrible is going to happen? Did I believe something terrible was going to happen before? No, I mean, it's not, you know, it's not like I believed it. I mean, it's possible. I mean, you know, if people are getting stabbed right next to where I work now, which never happened, when you see more violence now than before, when you're seeing these historic storms, and our world leaders, they talk to each other like they're both bullies, calling each other out. It's just, it seems like the world, like I said, I've been saying that the world, you know, is going to get a lot more corrupt, and those that are not of the world, many of you, hopefully all of you, are going to be lifted up to a place, and you're going to be protected in the wilderness while it's all going on around you. This Tuesday show is going to be a very eye-opening one. It's going to go into all this a lot more. But I hope that this meant something to you. I don't know. I just wanted to share it. So let the comments begin. Do me a favor. Please do like, share, subscribe. A lot of people are telling me that they've noticed when I did that censored video that they were unsubscribed. They couldn't believe it. And it made me feel better because, I mean, we're talking, a lot of people said, I was unsubscribed, I can't believe it, I'm unsubscribed. And because I lost a lot of subscribers. I mean, it must just be a glitch in the system, you know. I'm not saying that, you know, it was the AI algorithm, you know, which happened to, you know, flag my AI videos too. I'm not saying that. But it would be funny if it was. In any event, look, I'm good, life is good, and we are meant to shine, so we better shine bright. We better stop worrying about about all the stuff that's going on, even though here I'm saying things that would probably make people worry. I don't have any inside scoop, people. I'm just like a lot of other people that just have an imagination and have a feeling that things have to get worse in the world before people start to come together. When you're broken and you're on your knees, that's the best time to find the truth. I love each and every one of you, and I will talk to you again on Tuesday. Very excited. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.